Hello, everyone. Terri Hardin here, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer, on a Monday, May 17th. Many people say time flies. Say people say time flies when you're having fun. Many say time just flies. For me, time is always flying ever since I was a little girl. In fact, my husband was saying the other day that as you get older, you become more aware of time flying. I think being older, being 63, I'll be 64 in June. I think the thing that makes me aware of time is that um, there's a lot more friends of mine crossing over and collecting their wings, and I'm very aware of death. And I keep saying, but I have so much more to do. I need to live to be about 200 years old. Thank you, Lord, for getting me as close to 200 years old as possible, because I have so many people that I want to help, so many things I want to say, so many things I want to do. I'm always doing something. And ever since I was a little girl, I've always been in motion. On Friday, a dear friend came to see us because I lost someone very special to me. And I think I mentioned very briefly, I'm not dealing with it that great. But I'm hanging in there. And over the weekend, I did a little painting, I did a little sketching, things for me, just to keep my mind off of doing it. I didn't want to do anything that was important for you because I was afraid I'd screw it up, honestly. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. And if you're looking at this after it's played, thank you. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. And there's that. Yeah. So today I wanted to talk about giving, because one of the things when you're very, very sad, and I am extremely sad, I know that you're looking at me and going, she's handling it very well. I'm like this, guys. Okay. I'm just going to tell you. So a way to do that is to give back. And so if you can pull yourself out of the funk, you can start to think about ways to give back to help others that are in need. That might be a little money if you happen to be able to donate things like cash. It might just be giving, it might be giving your time, you people your time, a phone call, a chat, whatever, right? Well, as you saw, I wanted to talk a little bit about the CHOC Walk. And oh dear, hold on just a second. Just give me 1 minute. Oh, okay. All right, here we go. All right. I thought it was something urgent. I still have my cousin, bless his heart, sending me doing my grocery shopping. He just won't let up. I'm fully vaccinated and I can do my own shopping now. And he still wants to do it just to be able to talk with me. So there's something you can do for someone. You spend a couple of minutes as he hands you his groceries. How you doing? What's happening? What's up with you? And having a chat about it. So that's one way of giving back. But the giving back that I'm talking about is, and just let me fire up a couple of things here. Okay. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so now I'm just going to fire up so I can show you what I'm talking about. Because I was going to show you the actual things, but of course, today being Monday, I forgot them inside the house. So rather than you waiting for me to run in and grab them, I actually took a photo of them so that you could see it. So I'll just pull up that photo and that give you a clearer picture of it anyway. So here it is, the CHOC Walk. I don't know if many of you have heard about the CHOC Walk, but CHOC stands for not chocolate, but the Children's Hospital of Orange County. And for about the last, I think I've been a member of my team and a part of this organization walking group for 4 years. I think I started with Monsters Inc., Lady and the Tramp, Star Wars, and yeah, maybe one under one. This may be my 4th year, which is the first virtual walk. You see on the shirt there, it says virtual walk, and this bear is the bear, their logo, and this is a t-shirt. I also got my CHOC Walk medal. They award the medals kind of in a different way for CHOC Walk. They award you a medal because of the donations you've collected. And I want to thank all of you right now, right off the bat, with only 5 minutes in. Thank you for the donations that you have given me to help the Children's Hospital. Every dollar counts. And I'm going to be walking this Saturday virtually. Now, I have a path where I live that I could walk, but my husband has asked me to stay indoors. He's still a little nervous about me walking on my own. I suggested he might come walking with me, but he doesn't seem too interested in doing that. So I will be walking on a treadmill Saturday, and I will probably broadcast live as I huff and puff my way through the whole experience. And who knows, there might be something cool and fun. I don't know, but we'll do the best to broadcast this and stream it. And you can see it on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. I'll try and do as much of it. It'll be early in the morning because I want it when it's cool and comfortable. Even though I have an air conditioner, I'm a morning person anyway. But this CHOC Walk, as a result, you can see there's a little mask there and a shirt. That is given to you once you raise, I think, $50 or something. And then the medal is when you hit your goal. My goal was $200 because it was the pandemic. I didn't know if I was going to be able to raise that or not. And the pin. This helps children with a variety of challenges. And one of the things that makes the CHOC Walk so beautiful and special, and again, it's going to happen this Saturday, May 22nd. And if you want to join the team, there's still time to join the team. You can actually raise money for CHOC Walk, and it qualifies for this particular bling up until, I think she said, June 22nd. So you still have a whole month after the walk, the virtual walk, if you want to do it. So you just go to CHOC, CHOC Walk.org, and it will tell you how to be. Now, what I'd like to urge you to do, if this sounds yummy and fun for you, is I'm going to ask you possibly to think about joining our team. This is my team. This is a great group of folks. This is the Mickey's OUAC Walker. Doesn't it look like Mickey Swoosh Walkers? It's not. It's Mickey's. They can't do an apostrophe. Mickey's OUAC Walkers. That's for Once Upon a Classic. And if you would like to join our club, you just go on to the site. And or actually, you can just click on this. It'll take you right to the team if you want to be a part of the team and do the virtual walk, which if you don't know how a virtual walk goes, you can actually sit holding your hips and pedal in the air. Okay. We have 2 people that mistakenly scheduled their vacation for this 22nd. And so they're going to be driving and moving their feet like the Flintstones. You can use a scooter, you can use a wheelchair, you can use a cart, you can use a cane, or you can just sit and in your mind walk. That's the way the virtual works. And you can be anywhere in the country if you want to do it. So I'd love for you to join the team if you want to. And if you're someone that just wants to throw a couple of bucks at me, that's so generous of you. And thank you. You're doing something nice for the Children's Hospital. This is my giving back. And so I focused on this quite a bit over the weekend too. One of the things that my team does is we do bingo every Saturday, sometimes on Sundays, but every Saturday we gather to have bingo. And it's really, really, really fun. And if you join us, we're going to have a virtual brunch after we walk on Saturday. So Sharon, she's the best. She's our team captain. And so if you want to be a part of this, if this is something that makes you feel good about giving back, or you want to do a little something here, take a look at it and see. And then I highly urge you to join our team. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure whatsoever. No pressure. Or if you're someone who just feels better about donating, then I'd love for you to donate through me. And every dollar counts. And you have till June 21st. Okay. But that is what I did to sort of help myself cope with the fact that I lost my friend. And I'm going to be walking for her. I don't know if I can announce who it is. She's pretty well known. So in certain circles. Okay. So the people who are in charge don't really want us to disclose. They want to be the ones that disclose, about her passing. So I have to be I got to play it kind of cool. But giving back is a really good way for you to feel better about yourself. It helps get you out of that funk. So I immediately jump into some sort of event where I can help others, or these broadcasts where I hope I'm helping you guys a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping makes you feel better as I tell you a fun story or something, cool. The last CHOC Walk we had, which was 2019, 2020, we were going to do a virtual walk, and the pandemic was just too serious. And it's still serious. Okay. There are countries that are locking down right away because they see the variants in these disease, virus, whatever, this pandemic as rising. It's rising up in their area, and they're locking it down right away because they don't want it to get out of hand. And yet here in California, we're opening up, which is a lovely thing to see. But I don't know how many of you heard Bill Maher got COVID and he was vaccinated. He was fully vaccinated. He was fine. And he still got COVID. Okay. Now he's probably going to get a lesser COVID, but he had opened up his studio to live studio audiences. And somehow between cup and lip, he got COVID and he was fully vaccinated. So that's a wake-up call to all of us. You don't just willy-nilly go out without a mask and breathe with everyone, because you can still catch it. And the goal is to not catch it, and even better, not transfer it to others. I was going to go with my husband to take his mother to get the vaccine, and I have not seen been around anybody who has not already been vaccinated. But I don't know if that's putting her in jeopardy as we take her to get vaccinated. So it's something that I said maybe my husband should do. But we'll see, because I have a calming effect on his mother. And, she may appreciate having two people go with her instead of one. But we'll discuss it. We'll see how it goes. Because the key is to get her vaccinated and safe. And we need to do that. And we're going to step up to that, because we love her so much, as you love your family. So the fact is that even though you have the vaccine, if you go out willy-nilly thinking you're free as a bird, you're not. So please follow the guidelines that the health has, so that you don't do something, crazy or scary and get somebody who's not vaccinated have a problem, Yeah, I just have to say it, because Bill Maher was a shock that he got sick. All the people that he sees all the time thinking, we're cool, and yet he got sick. So that's just a little, I appreciate those red flags, and I'm passing those red flags on to you because of that, So yeah. So the CHOC Walk is virtual this year. We're all allowed to do it the way we're going to do it. My husband is still a little bit nervous for me, so I'm going to use the treadmill, which is fine. I'm trying to think of, do I decorate it? What do I do to kind of make it sort of CHOC Walk? Because Sharon would love for me to do a video and post it later, take pictures, post them later, because this is what we do. One of the things I failed to mention, for those of you who do not know about the CHOC Walk, and it's possible, I didn't for a long time, I would have been more involved with the CHOC Walk, except for they used to do it in October, and they used to do it the weekend I taught pumpkin sculpting. Very frustrating, because I had people who wanted to take my class, but dedicated to chalk, and I wanted to do the CHOC Walk, but I'm dedicated to pumpkins. So there you go. But They, about 4 years ago, decided to do it in August, and Red Letter Day, I got to do it. And it's the best walk I've ever done. And the one thing I failed to mention is you walk through Disneyland. It is a 3-mile walk, and you walk exclusively on Disney park property. And what makes it different from any other Disney run, if you happen to be a Run Disney person, is that you can use a scooter, you can use a wheelchair, you can use a wagon. Put somebody who, maybe you have a couple of kids and they want to do it and they're very young and they don't walk well. So they're in the wagon to be a part of it. It's like people from all walks of life, of all different types of challenges, come together to help Children's Hospital. Many people wear shirts in honor of someone who was saved by the hospital or maybe died, but the hospital helped them to that end. It's all, and they all wear the shirts, or they carry banners, or they have an arm, just so many different people, that it really is very festive and beautiful. And we really miss the fact that we don't get to walk through Disneyland this year, but we all understand. There are some things that are a blessing, I'm going to tell you right now, about not doing it live. And that is that Team OUAC walkers always got up for a 4 o'clock. We were 4 o'clock at the gate. Yeah, 4 a.m. That's early even for me. And so I mentioned that on the bingo game a couple of weeks ago, and everybody was like, yeah, it's going to be great because you can sleep in. The walk usually starts at 6:30 because they want everybody to have walked before the park opens. And so they start the walk at 6 or 6:30. You have a presentation by various CHOC representatives. Mickey comes out in his running suit with Minnie, and they cheer you up. And then various people who have walked the CHOC Walk that are famous come, and if they have time, and they put an appearance and they cheer. And then they have kids who have benefited from the Children's Hospital of Orange County. They come out, and they have one ambassador a year that's elected, a little sweet little kid, and they come out and tell you how they feel and their family, and you get to meet that. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. You even have Goofy, because Goofy's the athlete, so he's there too. But this year they're going to do a presentation virtual for anyone who's involved in CHOC. So they will be doing a virtual celebration as well, but it will all be via online. So again, if this is something that interests you and excites you, this can be very, very cool. Also, I want to urge you, if you're an artist, I mentioned this to my tribe. My tribe is Patreon, and I say this all the time. Your voice is very welcome to be heard. Please consider joining Terri's tribe on Patreon, and you go here. But one of the things you might be interested in doing is to Google Chuck Jones Center for Creativity. And they are having a call to artists, asking artists if they would like to do a drawing, a painting, or a sketch. I did not say sketch to my tribe, but yes, a sketch would be fine, of Chuck Jones or Chuck Jones characters, Bugs Bunny, etc. Also, they kind of bleed into Fritz Lang and Pink Panther and stuff like that. And what happens is you do this painting on a canvas. Google it. They're due later this year, later in the summer, and you can you donate your art. You don't get paid. You donate your art, and people bid on it for the charity. So if that's something you'd like to do, hit me up. I'll send you. You can Google Chuck Jones, or you can simply ask me. Okay, but that's another way you can be of service, right? So, and it's a lot of fun. I do it every year. I didn't do it last year because there was a mix-up during the pandemic. My email didn't get to me or something, and I was very heartbroken that it had already passed by the time I said, "Isn't it about the time to do the Chuck Jones?" They weren't sure they were going to have it because pandemic, and they ended up doing it virtually. And this year they're focused on It's later in the summer. It's like July. It's going to happen, I think, August or something. And July is when it's due and stuff. So I wanted to share with you that because that's pretty cool. Finally, I need to also talk to you before I go over to the comments. I need to share with you about the hitchhiking ghosts. Let me just pull them up really quickly, simply because it's just better if you have a visual aid. With these little fellas, it's just very nice to have a nice visual aid. We'll do this one with my scary face behind it. Ooh, how you like that picture? So let's talk illuminating hitchhiking ghosts really quick for you guys. And I want to apologize if you're someone who was expecting your your April to be in April and you haven't gotten them yet. It's not you, it's me. Okay. The pandemic is really messing with my manufacturer, and every week he pushes me back another week. As I mentioned to the people on Terri's Tribe on the Patreon page, this has been really tough. As an artist, if you're looking to do things commercially like I'm doing these illuminating ghosts, which are just beautiful. I worked real hard to make them illuminate, and I'm very proud of them. I have about 10 sets left, and you guys have been really good. Those of you who are adoptive parents who are waiting for yours, I will be sending out an email, so you don't have to be here to have it, figured out, but I will send an email out and let you know that we are delayed by about a month. And it's the electronics. I don't do electronics, nor do I want to learn. So I gave away part of my power to someone who does electronics, and they do a great job. They're just not finding the components. So it's pushing them back. I hope my goal now with this pandemic and all that's happening is kind of like Apple. And if you have tried to get an iPad, Apple said they're having trouble getting their components as well. My nose is itchy. I don't know why, but stop itching nose. But they're having trouble getting components too for some of the things that they manufacture. So it seems to be across the board. Misery loves company. But I will email you if you are an adoptive parent of a set of ghosts and you have not heard from me and you're concerned. Please write to me or message me. I'm happy to hear from you. Don't think I'm going to get angry at you. It's not your fault. What it does tell me, though, is I want to do more things where I have more control over, which means they won't be lighting up soon. So this is it for a while. These ghosts right here. Now, this doesn't apply to the blacklight ghosts. So if you're an adoptive parent of a blacklight ghost set, they will go out this week. In fact, I'm going to pack them today in the hopes, everybody keep your fingers crossed, be behind me, of doing, of getting them shipped out tomorrow to you. So, and each one of you will get a tracking number. So fear not, they're going to be coming. All right. So I haven't forgotten you. I've just every week said, how's it look? How's it look? How's it look? And they kept saying, oh, not yet. And my heart just sinks. So, and I'm ready over here. I've got your custom box ready. I've got the certificates ready. I've got the little stuffers that I've had to make all by myself ready to go for this set of 5 that was supposed to go out in April. And now it's mid-May. It's the 17th. So everything is going to get pushed back because they can only create 5 at a time, 5 sets or 5 sets times 3, 15. No, 3 times 5. See, Terri has a real, 15. 5, 10, 15. No, I'm wrong. 3, 6, 9, 12. 15. 15 ghosts at a time. So a month. And that's individual ghosts or 5 sets. That's all they can do. They don't have the ability to do more. But the blacklight ghosts are coming. And they will go out. Now there's 2 sets of blacklight ghosts that have not yet gotten to me. So as I'm going through my inventory, I realize I'm 2 sets short of the blacklight ghosts. So what does it mean as an artist? When you're going to do this, you got to have a grain of salt, especially during a pandemic. You just got to chill, baby. You just got to zen breathe. And then with the death of my dear friends, it's been rough. So last weekend I didn't work on anything like where I could like I could transfer numbers. If the address was 1620, I don't want to put 2016. You know what I mean? I don't want to do anything stupid like that. I did that once with a lady, and what had happened is that she had PayPal'd me money for a private commission, and I sent it out on the address from PayPal, and she had moved. And I was freaking out. In fact, my friend Nate Singleton, we sold he had an event online, and I had a Groot available, and I sold that, and that went to the wrong address. And I told her, if for any reason it doesn't come back, because if people open it up, they would keep it. Why not? Free, right? Which is sad, but luckily this person was a good person. They sent it back, or the post office guy was refused, and it came back, and I was able to send it to her. But I know when I'm distracted underlying, before it was the pandemic underlying, and I'm thinking I'm fine, and then all of a sudden I'm not fine. So this weekend, these ghosts are really important to you guys. These are really special. You've invested a lot of your hard-earned cash in them. I get that. So I'm very careful about this weekend. I was totally, so I could not allow myself to work on that this weekend, but I'm better today. My husband's home. He's going to help triple check me. I'm actually going to get them all packed today, wait an additional day, and then recheck everything so that it's going to you, and I'll send you a tracking number. Okay, so you can follow it. So, and I'll probably send you the tracking number today. That way I'll actually put them in the mail tomorrow, so that if you see the address on the tracking number is wrong, please check it right away so you can say, Terri, danger, danger, danger. Okay, before I send the black light ghosts out, those of you. Now, many of you have said you'd like to pick them up. I'm fully vaccinated. If you are vaccinated and willing to wear a mask, I don't mind you picking them up for me someplace, somewhere. So, so there's that as well. Okay. Yay. And finally, and we're only 27 minutes in. I hope this isn't too late for most of you. You may have written a story about dinosaurs and said, whatever happened to that contest? Well, what happened to it is Terri got distracted. Full disclosure, I got distracted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you these items again, and you have time to do the story. End of May, I promise you, it's on my books. End of May, we will do this giveaway. There's buttons and pins. I might make them a set. I'm not sure. These are all from the 90s, authentic pieces from the 90s when I did the show Dinosaurs, okay? And they're very, very cute. You can see they're a good size pin. And we have some TV guide. This used to be a guidebook, one of the best sellers. It used to tell you what was on TV. Look, Columbo, one of my favorites. And it was on Channel 7 in 91. Look at that. Gabney Coleman down here. Wow. And then we have Switched at Birth. Interesting. You know, you have all kinds of things. Chase and Eastwood. So a few dollars more, and that was going to be on KCOP. Remember KCOP, guys? So this is from the 90s. This is from 1991, this TV guide, and it has him on the front, and I think he's also featured. Dinosaurs is also featured inside. Let me see. Save this card, win $1 million instantly. So if I won $1 million, it's kind of like that woman who laundered her tickets. If that's $1 million, it's long gone. But here we go. Here's another. You got a little thing in there. But this is a really good quality. If I show it to you, it's in excellent condition because that's me. 79 cents. Can you see? So there you got the week it was available, and it's 79 cents. We also have this from 92, the Adventures magazine. And it's all isn't it cute? It's got animated things, comics in it. And in the front, it's got some beautiful pictures of dinosaurs. So if you like dinosaurs, all you have to do is email me. Let me just get my email up for you. There, I have to find it. Terri has way too many banners. There it is. So email me here and do your story. Just tell me why you like dinosaurs. Tell me a story about something that happened while watching dinosaurs that you liked. Maybe you're showing it to your kids and your kids had a special reaction or something. I'll even add, if you don't have a dinosaur story and you want to draw one of your favorite characters, send me a drawing. And I am going to look and see if I can find more dinosaur stuff. So I'll add to this since it's been so long. And please be a part of this and I'll get it. Now, the calendar's going to be old because it's from the 90s. All this stuff is from the year that I did dinosaurs. And I will see if I can make sure that we get you some yummy stuff to win. Okay, so send your story in and we'll put you in a little drawing, or we'll vote. I'll vote on the best ones or whatever. But we will do that around the end of May. So if I look at let me just set that there. Let me look in my famous book. I always do things on paper. And the reason I do is because I like to see the calendar at a glance. The phone is weird. So, but May 31st is actually is Monday. Well, how about that? The 31st may or may not be a good day. Let's push it into June. May I? Okay, because I have a colonoscopy coming up on June 1st. So I am going to be on liquids that day. So there's not going to be broadcasting. I don't want to run the risk of being wacky and weird on a liquid diet. So I have to be, you know how it goes. Yeah. So let's make it the following Monday. Let's make our giveaway on Monday the 7th for the dinosaur story contest. For one thing, I'll put them in and read them while I'm getting ready for the colonoscopy, because what else can a person do? And that's as far as I'm going with that description. But I'm going to write here, public giveaway. I'm writing it right here, giveaway. Dino story. So please get your stories in. Many of you have sent them in, and I know you've been really doing your due diligence. And I just have to tell you that there's been a lot going on, and it just slipped my mind. And I came across the stuff and said, "Oh my goodness, look what I did." So I've got dino stories here, and there you go. There we go. Okay. And then we have and that's at 9:25 a.m. Okay. And then, of course, Terri's Tribe will be earlier. Everyone is being very super sweet about allowing me a little bit of leeway. And I love that you have my back. And I want to thank you for that, because an exhausting time. But the 31st, I will not be doing any broadcasting because I am going to be prepping for that surgery, that exploratory, whatever the heck it's called. I have to have one. Old people have to have that. My mother, however, won't have it done, but I will. Also, on Patreon, I've talked about something I want to do. I'm really heavily on this campaign to get Disney dollars back into Disneyland. So if you have any ideas on what you'd like to see, please post them in the comments over here, or email me, or message me, or whatever. Google me, you can reach me. I'm pretty much everywhere. So there we go. Let's go over to you now. All of those announcements. I know, for someone who doesn't have a lot to say, look, it took me 30 minutes to get all that out. Silly me. Yes, it's Monday. What can I say? Okay, so let's see. What do we have here? Grim Grinning Tracy, hello. And look, she says she's off to have a small back procedure. It seems to be 'tis the season, right? As we come out of the pandemic, we're feeling a lot more comfortable about getting a few things done we needed to get done, right? She said, hi, have a good week. Love and country bear hugs. Isn't that sweet? That's really cute. We could maybe do a country bear theme too. I may have some. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. If you share with me what your favorite things are, Patreon, I do a giveaway every month when I'm coherent. I haven't done it for a couple of months because I've really been concerned about the ghosts and wanted to get those going. There are still ghosts available. So if you want to inquire about the ghost pin or anything like that, pins or whatever, you can go to terrihardin.com, click on online store. It'll take you to the store. You can have a look and you won't be cuffed. Okay. Just if you're interested in that stuff, take a look. I've got caches there. Got all kinds of fun stuff there. You can take a look. Okay. All righty. Enough advertising. Good morning, Mike Clark. Hello, Bob Berdeen. Janny, morning. So Janny, you were the one I was thinking about for maybe doing a Chuck Jones thing. And you could just send it to me and I can send it to them. Or you can send it directly to them, actually, because, and they would put it up and I'll go take pictures when I'm there. Hugs, my friend. I feel your pain. Yeah, this has been, last week was tough, but last weekend gave me kicked me while I was down moment. And it was tough. And you know that I still broadcast because that's what I do. But Monday, May 31st, I won't be doing. I'm just going to say straight up, I'm not going to be doing that. That's probably, no. Anyone has had a colonoscopy. If not, ask someone who has. That's not a good day to be broadcasting. Anything could happen. I don't think I want to share that. Actually, comfort and peace. Thank you, Bob. You're darling for saying so. Good morning, Ava. How are you, my dear? Happy week. Angie says she's late. Grabbing some lunch. Happy Monday. Thank you. My dad is doing better. Thanks for yay. Oh, that's wonderful news, Angie. See, this is why I tune in, to hear the good news from you guys. Yes. So prayers work, guys. And thank you for doing that for Angie and for everyone who's having some struggles during this pandemic-y time. And as much as we hate watching the news, because a lot of times it can be depressing, we need to know what's happening in the world. And because if the pandemic is really going to get eradicated, or at least to a situation where we can really deal with it and get back to, quote unquote, our other way of life, we need to know what's happening in the world. And we need to send those love and prayers out to places like India, Thailand, France, London, places that are struggling to get back on track so that we can nip this sucker. We may not be able to eradicate it, but at least we can make it like the flu and perhaps every year get something to prevent it so we don't get sick from it, And if we do, it's a lot lighter. So it can't just be about my state, which is leading, California is leading everyone in the fight to get herd immunity. But our government tends to behave like we're the only state in the union. And last time I looked, there were 49 other states. So that's the one thing where you do watch the news so you can be clear as to what other counties or levels your counties are in your state and what the states are that are touching your, and California, you see summer's coming. And you may not know this, but California has coastline and beaches that people love. So what's going to mean is they're going to cross over and go. This is what Hawaii is trying to consider too, because Hawaii has limited resources. They're an island. And so they're saying the same thing. We got to figure out how we're going to deal with this influx of people that are going to be coming over here to enjoy some, beautiful weather, and we as travelers need to respect that, but we also have to be prepared for those coming in because it could shift our numbers. So, and change everything. So we need to send out those love and prayers and hopes to all states in United States, in our whole nation. And so watch the news and then pray for those. And then the rest of the world has to heal. So we need to use our strength to pray for the world, not just us sitting in a lounge chair yelling, I'm vaccinated. I'm so proud of you for getting vaccinated, and please encourage others to do the same. Respect those who don't want to. Try to let them know it's perfectly safe. You might feel a little wobbly in that second dose if you're a 2-dose person, but it's nothing. It doesn't last long, and you just rest. So when you go to get that second vaccine, Moderna or Pfizer is what I'm speaking of now. Even if you do the J&J for the first one, just give yourself that day. Mark it off on your calendar as a rest so that if you have any kind of reaction that makes you sleepy, or in my case, it felt like walking through Jello, you can just turn the lights out in your work and rest and take care of it so it doesn't last forever. Okay? But urge everyone to do that, and urge everyone to think about people other than themselves. This is also doing something nice for someone else, which will help you to feel better. And that's one of the reasons today was about giving back, because I was in such a state over the weekend. I was completely messed up. So I would do something and burst into tears. I would bump into walls. I would forget to take my medication. I'm really hanging on, okay? But if I do something for someone else and I focused on the CHOC Walk, I played CHOC Walk bingo with my team. I shared in their excitement as next weekend we're going to actually be doing the walk on May 22nd. And that helped to push that pain away a little bit, to be somewhere else, even if it was just a few moments, like jumping from a lily pad to cross over the chasms of what I'm feeling. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know you know what I mean. But I'm so glad to hear about your dad, Angie. I'm so glad that our prayers helped. And now we're going to continue to pray for a speedy recovery. So we're in your corner. We have your back, Angie. And I'm so happy to hear he's doing better. I can't wait till you tell us he's home and you're right there with him to tell him how much you missed him. Pandemic makes it very hard when someone's in the hospital. Hey, hello, Tim Gillette. How are you? I noticed you were broadcasting about the same time live as I was. So it's really sweet of you to pop in right now. And I appreciate it. I will chat. I was going to see a little side note here, and I don't even know if Tim Gillette is still here, but if you are, Tim, I was thinking to myself, I was excited because there's a mastermind happening with another guy that we both love named Craig Deswalt here in LA. And my heart leapt up because I was going to get to see Tim Gillette. I haven't seen him in a long time except for on Zoom. But then I realized that Craig also has an event in Texas. So chances are Tim probably won't be coming out for this one. I mean, why when Craig's going to have one in Texas? So I was kind of like, yeah. Oh. Good. Because I knew he probably won't travel, but for a fleeting moment, I was very excited because I was going to get to see Tim Gillette, and I get to see him on video and talk to him on the phone, but it would have been nice to see him and all of my friends. It's going to be very intimate, and it'll be the first time I'm out with a few people, and I got to be careful, masks, social distance, all that stuff. But we're doing the best we can to get back to normal carefully. The key word is carefully, carefully. Be conscientious, be careful. And remember, if you've been isolated for a long time, give yourself a little bit of time if you're going to get behind that 2,000-pound vehicle before you pull out, okay? There's a lot of people out there doing weird stuff in heavy traffic conditions. So make sure you revisit the 10 and 2 position on the steering wheel. I know it's fun to drive like this, but for the next few days, if you're someone who's been isolated, you might do that 10 and 2 so you can react on a dime if you need to. Give more distance between you and the car in front of you. In fact, my dear friend Robert Anderson said that he pulls up, and as long as he can see the wheels the car is sitting on, he's a good, he's got distance. And the idea for that is not so much you stopping, but the person behind you. If they can't stop, you have somewhere to go and possibly avoid an accident if you hear screeching brakes behind you. And believe me, there's a lot of drivers out there that are distracted. You know, texting was the problem before the pandemic. Now it's just sort of this foggy numbness that I'm noticing with a lot of drivers, forgetting to do a signal and they sort of drift over 4 lanes. It's really so just, you know, wait 3 seconds before you go into the intersection after the light turns green. Just get yourself present. Be as present as possible because it is nuts out there. And I want you all safe. We want you as a group collective, want you to be safe. So hello, Tim, and I'm going to miss you not being here. Thank you, Ava. I really appreciate that. Thank you for saying so. I appreciate it. Good morning, Terri. Prayers for you and your friends, family. Call us if you want to talk. Bob and I are always here to talk. Yeah. And thank you, Rose. I have to tell you that this right here is about my speed of talking, which is unusual. My husband says you're terribly quiet. I have really dug deep. Because I couldn't do work. I couldn't do sculpting because I needed to focus on. It's weird. Oh, I wish I could explain this a little easier to all of you, but sometimes when sculpting is your work, you don't want the distraction to make it not. It's not really like you're concentrating. I do get in sort of a zen when I'm sculpting. I could have sculpted something that's my own art. It just wasn't. I wasn't feeling it, to be honest with you. So I mentioned to the tribe that I've done some drawing and I'm working on a painting. The painting was a little too relaxing. I kept bursting into tears while trying to paint, so I stopped that immediately. And I have this other class. I'm taking 2 classes because I love learning. I will always love learning. I think living is learning. You feel alive if you're learning something new. No matter how good or bad you are at it, learning is living, in my opinion. And so I have 2 classes. I have a class where I'm learning how to paint in acrylics. Many of the painters on Patreon of my tribe know that I'm doing this and they're looking at my work. But I have this drawing in pen and ink class. Oh my gosh, it's a young man. He's got to be in his 20s. And he's really working me. Oh my gosh. First of all, the class, he from the very first time you start, you have to draw straight in ink. So you get a pad of paper, you have a certain ink that he has told you to get, like a brush pen, the black brush pens, or the black felt tip kind of pens. And you have to draw straight to that blank piece of paper in ink, which means if you screw up, you screw up. And it teaches you the mindset of, first of all, letting that screw up go. And now he's teaching you how to fix it if it's now if this is a professional drawing that you're doing for someone else, you can do the blue line and the red line. But honestly, digital works great for the practices in the field to get the base and then bring it to the paper, transfer it and do the rest. That's what I like to do, is to have a tablet and work it out on there. But I'm not allowed to do that in this class. This class is all about the paper and doing it. And we're right now on inanimate objects, and he chose a gun. I mentioned this on Terri's Tribe, and I could not even look at him drawing a gun. The gun got me so upset. Who knows why? It just was like, no, I'm not drawing a weapon. You know what I mean? It's like, his suggestion was draw any animate object that you want. Be anything, just can't be a character, can't be a creature on this face. And I was like, no, God, no. I mean, freaked out. And I know it's because of the loss of my friend. My friend didn't have she didn't get nothing with it involving a gun. But for some reason, seeing him sketch that gun in this class just freaked me out. I just couldn't handle it. And he didn't pick like an old gun, like a 6-shooter. He picked a 9mm. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I just kept getting more and more and more anxious as I tried to listen. I ended up closing my eyes and putting my computer off to the side and just listening, not watching, because I could not get past. I mean, that gun created such irritation and anxiety. I have, because I'd lost my friend, I was just really sensitive. So you just kind of say to yourself, okay, whatever. And, but that creates, what I'm saying is, the reason I did that this weekend is it made me concentrate. I had to concentrate on every line that I put on the paper carefully, easy, because once it's there, it's there. You can't take it back. And what I chose to do, I will show you one page of it. What I chose to do was a seashell, because the ocean calms me. So I did a seashell. I'll show you my seashells. He wanted, several pages of this, which really was killing me to do several pages. But here they are, straight ink. So no pencil first. And so I had to concentrate on every line. And you can imagine how the shoulders got, I had to do several pages. So I'll show you a couple pages of it. It goes this way. Here's the other page. I started to draw bigger, you notice. I was like, I don't want this many on 3 pages if he's making me draw so many pages. So I did bigger, but it's black. You don't use any color. You're not allowed to use color. We're not there yet. And straight to the paper. Killer exhausting. Now, my drawing is not my sculpting, you know what I mean? And so I started, I'm going to show you where I started. I started with really super basic stuff. Okay, this is how he started. This is chapter 1-6, and that's what we had to do, and we had to do this. This is supposed to be an egg, and look at how off it is. That's the weirdest looking egg I ever saw. So honestly, I've improved. He's really helped me to improve. But everything you do is in straight ink. And so this was the class that gave me salvation, because I could not be distracted by my friend. I didn't burst into tears. I didn't do any of that. I was concentrating so hard. My shoulders bunched up in my, and then finally I went, I'm exhausted. And I made some food for us over the weekend. And then I just kicked back for a little bit and watched an episode. I really had Ted Lasso. Have you heard of this new series on Apple Plus? They're about to drop the 2nd season. I can't wait. But I had him in the background because he's so positive and upbeat and so wonderful. But even so, in one of the episodes, and I don't want to spoil it for you, he has a challenge that is devastating to him too. He's positive, he's upbeat, nothing seems to faze him, which is it's a beautiful. All the people in it are excellent actors wise. The story is beautiful, a storyline. You're so hungry for the next season of Ted Lasso. It's just a beautiful series. But even he, Mr. Positive, like I like to think of myself 99.9% of the time, takes a huge hit, and his feet are kind of knocked out from under him, and he has to cope. And it's hard to think that someone would find an ultra positive person distasteful. So that some people may find that to be something they don't like. And if it's someone special to you, it because sometimes you as a positive person want to help people to get better. And sometimes people don't want you to fix it. They just want you to hear them out. So that's one of the reasons I'm very careful. My husband has helped me to listen more to people, and then I can say, did you want me to brainstorm with you on this, or just listen so you can hear it out here? Because it's really good to get those feelings out. But a lot of times you don't want someone to say anything or fix it. You just want to be able to discuss with them, and you smile and nod and say, I know what you mean, or whatever. Yeah. And then they might say, you have any ideas? And then you can say, yeah, I do. Let me make a couple suggestions for you, and whatever, but in the last part, just pray, for my heart to find a compartment to put this friend in that I lost. And yeah, I mean, because I got hamstringed, guys, and I can barely stand. I'm saying it's better, but it gets me when I least expect it. I'm buying bread and it's something else. Let's go to you, shall we? Because when in doubt, it's so great to see everybody. So we heard about the procedure, and we heard from Michael and Bob and Janny, and hugs from Janny again, and comfort from Bob. I just thought it was worth, looking at all y'all again. And Ava says, sorry, thank you, Ava. I love you for that. Here to talk. Angie says, I'm not ready to give up the mask yet inside or ready to eat inside. I know the feeling. And what's interesting about this is I've got to be careful because I don't want to become, this is so strange that I'm even saying this, agoraphobic, meaning I don't want to go outside at all. And I need to monitor that and make sure that that's not my problem now, because I've been training for a year. And that saying, it takes 21 days to create a habit. Well, we've had a year and a half practically. So now me going outside, I've got to try to learn that again, to be upbeat outside when seeing people. I love people, but it's weird. So I can't, it's a strange thing. I'm not there yet. Don't worry. But I understand what you're saying about eating inside, is that, and California wants to take stuff, lift. And I'm like, stop lifting. If you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask and blah, blah, blah. That's baloney. You still do have to wear a mask. With certain people, if they're vaccinated and you're vaccinated, you can be without the mask. But here's the thing. You've got, like Angie's saying, you got to check to make sure where these people have been. If they've gone out clubbing without a mask with a bunch of people, because we're still carriers. You understand that, right? So it's so convoluted. It's even more confusing, But that's why you watch national news and you see how the pandemic is. Living in California, it's between 69 and 72 where I live degrees. Okay. But if I watch the news and see that there's blizzards and rainstorms in other parts of the world, I see winter is still happening and spring is coming in with a vengeance. Right. But here we're on our way to summer and we're in a drought. So this allows me, if I watch a little bit of news, to see where the world really is. So as much as I'm not a fan of the news, I watch it. I sit myself down and watch it at least a couple times a week so I can be current on things like what's happening in the rest of the world with the pandemic, so that I can put it in perspective, because California is doing well. But as I said before, we're not the only one on the planet. Thank you so much for doing the CHOC Walk, says Steve. It's helping so many young patients. It's my favorite. I get to meet a lot of these young people, because sometimes if the person is just gotten out of the hospital and they're up to it, they're in a wheelchair being pushed by the parents. It's just you can't beat it. Oh my gosh, you can't beat it. So shows them that even people that never met truly care about what they're going through. I would tip my hat to you, but I can't find my hat. There you go. Your imaginary hat. Thank you for saying that, Steve. Yes, this is a great way to give back, and it's all over the world. CHOC has opened it up to, and you can also be a sleepy bear. You can be a part of a team and be a sleepy bear that just supports it with your rah-rah and couple of, there's all kinds of ways to be a part of this. And the virtual walk is great because for the first time, our team is walking with people from all over the world virtually. We have I have two very dear friends who came out in 2019, and it was so great to walk with them from London live through Disneyland in 2019. But now we're walking with everybody virtually. And we're just beside ourselves. We're just all so excited because people from around the world are walking, and it's just it's just fun. It's just great to know the world is joining together to help this hospital. As Steve says, it does great things for people. Michael says, I'm double masking until Christmas Day. This is Michael Luzzy, and he says, hello to all of you. I don't care what anybody else does, and I will not allow anyone I do not know invade my 6-foot personal space for the time being. I already had a confrontation with 3 amigos, each standing in line behind me at Ralph's on Friday night. They each were holding a different 6-pack of beer and got very nasty when they were breathing down my neck, and I told them to please back up. They continued making smart-ass comments. See? We have to respect each and every person. Each of us is dealing with this in a different way. And we're also dealing with other stuff. See, I'm getting a little bit teared up here because we're all dealing with all of this stuff. And I think we are full. I told my neighbor across the street yesterday that I was excited to see if I could go to Costco and not be a Karen. Costco is great outside. It's great at the cash register, but somewhere where I want to get my Foster Farms chicken, they lose their minds. I think I've mentioned this before. They're on top of each other. And I'm like, please, calm down. Plenty of chicken for everybody. Just let me get my chicken. But I stopped going because I got too freaked out. You know, the only place I could feel safe was the dairy section because it's freezing cold. You ever been to the dairy section in Costco? At least I could get my eggs and milk, right? But duh. So I know how he feels. I know exactly how he's feeling. Good morning, Randy. Angie says, are you signing the dinosaur stuff? You bet. You bet I am. I would not leave you without getting that signed. So good question, Angie, and absolutely I will sign it. I will even personalize it if you want it. So please. I posted my niece's graduation photos on our tribe. I have not been in there. So Randy, I will look today. This weekend had very little social media. I did write to my team captain for CHOC Walk because I was close to what is it? Not like a hurdle. I was close to a benchmark, not a CHOC benchmark, but a team benchmark. And she is this amazing. If you could just meet Sharon, and I always say Fliegu, but I always just crucify her poor name. She has a great name, and I keep messing it up. I should, you'd think. I always call her Sharon, so you'd think I'd sound out her last name, but no. She's very patient with me. But she has created a team benchmark. She puts this on with a group of wonderful team members, and they are just lovely. And the bingos are so much fun, and there's prizes and everything. Well, she always puts on these brunches, and she usually puts on these brunches live after we've done the CHOC Walk, and we fill the restaurant because we have over 100 members. But what's so lovely about her and it is she's just a giver. And as a result, we give. Okay. So one of the other people, Cindy Marble, is a beautiful quilter. Well, there's several of them that quilt on Quilting Thursdays. So once they were able to create a pod, they created Quilters Thursdays, and they all meet at Sharon's house, and they all quilt and chat and have food and stuff. And they're a special pod. They have this pact of taking care of themselves and isolating so that they don't infect each other. And they've done great. They've done really well. Cindy has done this beautiful quilt that will be auctioned. You can put a ticket in, and that helped raise money. And you win the quilt. Should your ticket be drawn, you're the winner of the quilt, handmade quilt by Cindy Marble, and it's Mickey, and it's beautiful. And then there's other things. There's a handmade sign by our friend Darren, and then there is a donated pair of. There's these things that will be announced. The winners will be announced, and they've been all year collecting because Sharon has this vision of a certain level of money she wants our team to do. So she creates all of these incentives so that we are urged to give ourselves. Now, so I asked you to donate, and you were so generous. And again, thank you for being generous. And if you want to continue to be generous for the team benchmark, it has to be in by tomorrow. But don't worry about that. Mainly the final CHOC Walk score, because we want to do it to not only help Children's Hospital, but also to make Sharon feel good. We helped her reach her dream of 100 members. We're now at 102 members of our team, which is great. But we're also only 102 members. All right. And because of Sharon's passion for CHOC Walk, for the Children's Hospital, she does lots of charities, but this one is her babe. Is one that's very important to her and to all of us. Okay. It's like our favorite, one of our favorite. And the CHOC Walk is one thing, but Sharon goes beyond that. She is someone who is dedicated and passionate. This is what she is about. She just, I can't, more than tongue can tell. The tongue cannot tell you enough about this amazing woman and all of the teammates who put their hands together and be part of it because of her passion. It gives us passion. Okay. Just so you know. So she told us that right now we're in 4th place, having been during a pandemic. We're in 4th place with one of the biggest donations, our team. The one ahead of us has 3 times the members, and some extremely wealthy people are at the helm of it. So they're donating a lot too. All goes to Children's Hospital. All good. But you can imagine kind of a David and Goliath thing happening here. We're David, but we never lose hope and faith, and we are constantly. So her mission is to hit some, she really has got some goals, and she hopes that we can do it. And so we work hard to do it. And, many of you know that I am cleaning my house out of stuff and doing raffles and things for, on my Patreon page for Terri's Tribe, and stuff, because it's helping me to get things to you that you'll take care of rather than put them on an eBay. There are some things I should put on eBay just because I should, but most of the things that I'm doing is giving them to you because I know you'll take care of them and love on them and put them in a place of, because this is what you collect and you like. You see that Randy Gribe is on here. He and I are Tigger fans. And if I come across a Tigger that I like and think he will enjoy it, I just send it to him because he's a part of the tribe and surprise him. Holly Mack mentioned to me that she loves Nightmare Before Christmas, and she told me the story of a watch that she got from Burger King. And so I was digging through my stuff in the garage, and I found a set of those watches from Burger King, and I sent her the set. No obligation. She's part of my tribe. She has my back. This is what I do. So I asked my tribe to tell me what they like, and I'm digging through my garage. And if I find it and I think it's something that they like, I just send it to them. Plus, we have the raffle. But my point is, I'm winning prizes, and I put my I paid for tickets in the big auction because I want to help Sharon reach her goal. That's the reason I'm doing it. Would I love to have a Mickey quilt? Yes, but I didn't go for the Mickey quilt because I know there's lots of people who want that. I went for something else that is someone who's personal to me, and I'd love to have it. And I will probably end up giving it to someone else special to me. So that's what I'm kind of doing. But that's my deal. And that's why, so it's not really about me. I see Sharon, how excited she is, and we run with it. That's why we run with it. So there you go. So I will see your niece's graduation photos. May 31st is Memorial Day. I know. And I'm going to be, how stupid was this, Angie, to schedule a colonoscopy after Memorial Day? Do you realize I don't even get to have a Memorial Day food celebration? I'm going to be on a liquid diet. I could postpone it again, but I really don't want to. I want to get it done. But I was not, there's you're not thinking, I had to postpone it. I was going to have it in April, the colonoscopy, but I had to postpone it because I had gotten the vaccine, number 1. And they said, no, you have to get vaccine number 2 before we do any of that. And then you have to wait your 15 days. So June, we have June 1st. And I went, oh, great. But then didn't even think about Memorial Day. Why did they have June 1st? Because smart people were saying, I'd like to have a hot dog and some potato salad and, celebrate. Yeah, watch me. You'll know how to. Good morning, Michael. You'll know what not to do at the time. I agree with you, Michael, 100%. We need to take care of ourselves. Absolutely. Good morning from my 11-day hospital room. Wendy, how are you doing? You're 11 days in the hospital, but how are you feeling? Tell me about you. And I'm sending good thoughts to you. Sorry you're in the hospital. You got everyone to pray for my sister, Judy. She's not all better yet, but way better now. Bob, we continue to do it. You just ask, okay? And we'll take a moment here and do that for you. Because that's what a comfy chat is to take care of you, you know? We mean it. Having 2 kids under 12 will be masking up for a long time. Absolutely. In fact, I have a mastermind with Tim Gillette, Simple Easy Marketing. And one of the guys in the mastermind has a child that's high risk. And he said the same thing. We're all vaccinated, but which does some good. But until our child gets it, we're very restricted. And he's such a lovely guy. He is so much fun. When he is on a call with us, he has a monitor up here where he can sort of keep an eye on his kids because he and his wife work. And so they share responsibilities. And he's just a great dad. You just know he's going to be a great dad. And he's just such a love. And but he points out, if you have children that are high risk, I have a high risk husband, but at least my husband who's high risk could get vaccinated. But if you have little kids under 12, what do you do? So Holly points out that, you're still, even if you're vaccinated, on the alert and protected because your kids are not. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. They're working hard so that everybody can get vaccinated. And they saved kids for last because it wasn't happening in children, but that doesn't mean it doesn't. One of the wonderful conversations I've had with Holly, she's a tribe member as well, is that kids can be petri dishes. They can come home with all kinds of stuff. I mean, as a kid, I ate dirt, chewed dog bones, ate ants. I mean, that's what you do as a kid. You're exploring. That ant looks cool. I want to what it's like if I eat it. Ooh, fiery. Spicy. One time my dad came out and found me sitting against the wall in my backyard covered in dirt. This is my MO. I'm usually a mud girl. My sister is the one that's all prissy and dressed really. I'm working on it. But I'm the one that rolls around in the mud and gets all dirty and people go, look at you. Your mom licked and wiped your face. My face had my mom spit all over it because I was always kind of a grubby kid, always into something. But my father comes out the back door one day looking for me. And there I am sitting with my back against the wall, a box of milk bones in my lap. And me and my dog are having a coffee moment. No coffee, but milk bones. My dad goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm having a bonding time with Duchess. That was my dog. And Duchess loved it. She just sat with me, head on my shoulder, and she ate a dog bone and I ate a dog bone and we were having dog bones together. The point is kids get into stuff. So Holly points out, your kids may not be getting the infection, but they could be carriers depending on where they are, like school. So is it a wonder the teachers are asking to be vaccinated first before they teach? I mean, it seems like no brainer to me. To me, I'm saying to me. Okay, if you have a different opinion, look where you're standing. Ooh, I'm standing in the United States. I have a right to an opinion. And go forward, right? Exactly. So you're absolutely right, Holly, and I'm in your corner. Michael says, hope your dragon is ready for all people watchers. Disney Paris reopens on the 17th. Yes, I know. My dear friend Liz Reed of the UK. She is known for slipping out when the UK says don't to go to Paris and see Disneyland and visit the dragon, among other things. So Liz had reported that earlier. Thank you, Michael. And I hope the dragon is ready. Luckily the dragon has good social distancing and probably got vaccinated. So you don't have to worry too much about her having to wear a mask. but that would be a big mask, wouldn't it? Wendy says, recovering from quadruple. Oh my goodness, Wendy. Bless your heart. Oof. Don't think that was inappropriate. It was quite appropriate. My husband had the same thing. And it's rough, isn't it? Did they give you, my husband had quadruple bypass surgery, so this is why he's high risk. Wendy, you are also, yes? And did they give you the little heart pillow that you squeeze and cough, like, and it feels like death when you cough because of that? Oh, he hated that part of it. So my prayers are with you to a quick recovery. I hope you have an avenging angel there with you so that you can get plenty of rest, because in a hospital, this seems to be a joke as far as resting is concerned when you have what you have had done to you. But I never left my husband's side, and I know during a pandemic that they don't necessarily allow you to have that. So we are here for you. We're so glad you joined us today. And Wendy, quick recovery. I love you. I love you very much. Not an easy thing to go through. Very nice. Well, thank you, Randy. Thank you for saying that. I know how you feel, says Rose. I felt the same way when my mother was dying. I was mad at the world. I had to go to work and stay away from grown-ups because I didn't want to talk to them. Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? It's weird how you react, right? I was trying to do my work, but every time I thought of my mom, I'd start crying. Only time can heal. Take care. You're so right. See? Got me. Thank you, Rose. You're so right. And it, like I said, it just comes and you're like, huh, And then honestly, people mean well, and what can they really say? You've said it so eloquently here. But sometimes, and then there are people like my friend who lost his wife during the pandemic, not because of the pandemic, but she was sick and then she crossed over and got her wings. And he wants to talk about his wife, and some people don't want to hear about it because they're only in their own world. And that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes people need to just talk, and you need to sit with your cup of coffee and nod. And maybe share a positive story about his wife, because he's kind of talking about, and that's so sweet of you. I remember when she, and run with it so that they can heal. That's what we're doing with my friend now. My friend who just passed away never forgot a birthday. I could not, this woman knows everybody, as does her husband. She's very well known in certain circles, not like a Chrissy Teigs or Tom Cruise. She's not anybody like that, but she's kind of like me. In her circles, she's known well, and so was he. And she never forgot a birthday. I was always so impressed how, with everything she was going through in life, she never forgot to say happy birthday to someone. And it just blew me away. Person she met one time to people she knew across the board, and she knew a lot of people. And just amazing, just amazing. Amazing. So yeah, that you're so right, Rose. So 100% right. It was a difficult time for us. Toured me up to let Rose go through it, but I let her know that I was there for her, but I gave her her space. And this is another very good point, Bob. Space is important. Thank goodness I have my studio, because I could sit here and paint and cry my eyes out, because I don't want to affect my husband, who's also going through it. We can walk away from it a little bit, but we come back. And with the pandemic, it's making it harder, because we'd like to go see the husband, and we know it's chaos right now. And with only one person at a time being able to go in, it's challenging. So we don't want to be part of the problem. We want to be part of the solution. We want to support him as much as we can. And we know he's got lots of support. He has so many friends, and he's done so much for people, and everybody wants to help. So we just said, we're here. And if you need us to run an errand, mail a letter, call somebody, whatever you may need, we're here. So whatever we can do. And then you have to sit tight because they have a very well-oiled machine working, and we may just have to wait and just go to the services. But we're here if they need us, and we'd like to go see the husband, but we may not be able to with this. Good morning, Judy Moore. Hope your recovery is swift and complete. Yes, indeed, we do. And that, of course, goes out to our Wendy Cooper, our dear Wendy. I will make room for more Tigger stuff, says Randy. I know you will. He loves Tigger. We're terrific twins and Tigger. Yeah. Twosies and Tigger. Well, hi there. It's good to see you. Yes, indeed. Good to have you here. It's been better, but I'm happy right here. I'm happy where I'm standing. Yeah, I'm very happy where I'm standing right now. I'm very happy. Speedy recovery. See? Wendy, you got lots of people in your corner going, go, girl, go, go, girl, go. Well, my friends, I love you bunches. Just you offering to be there for them is priceless. Thank you, Melissa. Peeps get comfort when they hear someone in their corner. That's true, which is why I'm here. To hear from you and to be there for you. And that is when I say, do something nice for someone, it'll make you feel so much better, which is why the CHOC Walk took precedent. I remember turning to my husband on Saturday and saying, I've got to be on bingo because I've got to be on bingo with the team. First of all, I want to know what's happening Saturday. Second of all, I want to be there to support and cheer and giggle and laugh. Because here's the thing about the CHOC Walk and our team, all different age groups, guys. So there's so many people that don't know how to work Zoom. You've been there. And it's always an e-ticket when we get together because we'll have a couple that doesn't know how to mute, and we hear everything that is about them. And sometimes it's stuff you would like to not hear, you know? And Darren is very sweet. He's our bingo caller. Probably the best bingo caller I have heard to date. He just does it so well. He's so patient. And he's got a good, crisp, clear voice, which helps. And he calls the numbers very well, like B10, B10, B13, B13. And his timing is just impeccable. Gives you enough to look it over on your card. Nobody has to tell him to slow down. Meanwhile, another team member, Nicolasa, she will post in the comments of Zoom what the numbers are so you can check and see if the number was called if you missed it. But if that's too much for you, you simply say, Darren, I didn't hear the last number. Could you repeat the one after? And he is spectacular that way. But in that, we must all mute. And once in a while, we get someone who doesn't know how to mute, and we hear about them. So they'll say, well, do you have that number? No, I don't have that number. Doggone it. Why don't we have that number? And there's chatter. And unfortunately, because we're all trying to hear the numbers being called, it can be a bit distracting. But we all take it with a grain of salt. Darren will ask, do you know how to mute? And they go, no, we're sorry. We don't know how to mute. And or the dog will bark. Because if you're the caller, you can't mute. So the other day, the dog barked. It's just all kind of fun and fuzzy flurry of antics that can happen during a Zoom bingo game. But that's just seasoning on a good casserole. It's so much fun. It's just so much fun. This week, one woman won like 3 times in a row. Her name got pulled out of the hat. You had your name in 4 times if you wore something like commemorative, like this last week, a shirt from CHOC Walk, and then something else item. I put my medal from CHOC Walk, and some people wore a hat, or some people brought a prop that she had done, and you got 2 tickets in the bucket. And then if you found the code word in the invitation, that was in the bucket. And so this one lady, they pulled her name 3 times, and we told her she had stuffed the ballot box, but she was on Zoom. She couldn't have stuffed it. But we teased her about it because it was like, oh, it's going to be her again, but it's just super fun and silly and adorable. And people don't know how to be on to run the Zoom. So, everything's a grain of salt with that. Zoom can be a lot of fun, can't it? I'm sure you've been there. And sometimes you just go, ugh, and sometimes you go, ugh. But I feel for you guys who have to have a meeting with your office and your work and stuff, because that could be exhausting. Though people can command the Zoom window, and it's exhausting. But bingo, we do the best we can to let Darren have it so we can hear the numbers, and it's a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun, and it's good to be with people. It's been through the whole pandemic. Sharon's done it with her team of ladies, and they caramel the prizes. While she's talking about it, someone will hold the prize up. It's cool. So you want to join the team, reach out to me, play this video earlier, and you can see what it is. If you're watching after, thank you for joining me, and consider subscribing, because I'd love to have you here. And if you want to join Patreon, I would love for you to be a part of my tribe. These people are so supportive of each other and so helpful and wonderful. And I don't know what I do without all of you. I love you. Do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel so much better. Those of you in the tribe, I'll talk to you on the Zoom call Wednesday. Those of you not, see you Friday on the AMA. Have a great time. Stay strong. I know I'll be working on it. And those of you who have hitchhiking ghosts, thank you for your kindnesses and your patience with me. I will update you. If not today, tomorrow. I want to try and get those black light ghosts all ready to go out. Okay? All right. We will talk soon. Hugs and love. Be well.